YouTube, it's AJ with AJ Travels 365. And today's episode is about my carry-on essentials. So if this is something that interests you, as well as how to pack them, keep watching. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so by clicking the subscribe button down below and click the bell for notifications so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. For those of you new to my channel, thank you so much for joining. And for those that are coming back, thank you for continuing to show the love. Let's get started. All right, so I did a podcast back in December of last year regarding my carry-on essentials, and several of you have reached out to me to say, hey, can you do a YouTube video showing the specific things that you take with you? So that's what this video is all about. So the first thing that I mentioned that was an essential for me and has been before coronavirus, COVID-19, and now you can't even find these items, are my Clorox wipes. So I carry them in this little wee pouch that I got, and I'm gonna mess up the pronunciation, but it's Sesavia. I know I butchered that, but I will link it down below. So in here, it's really, this is really a baby wipes pouch, but I use it for Clorox wipes because God has not blessed me with kids yet. So as you can see, these are what was left over before my travel kind of ceased. But I just keep them in here because again, it is that nice, plasticky, wet, intended to be moisturized material, and it doesn't leak. And for the moments when I don't keep it in the actual Clorox pouch and I actually put the wipes in here, then I do like the fact that I could do this and then pull one out. But I still have them in the pouch, so because they were like extra juicy and I wanted to keep it that way. So Clorox wipes are a must. And I cannot stress enough, even when we are back to traveling. So I was, again, doing this before. People, they do not clean the planes. Let's be clear. When they say, oh, you know, your plane has landed, we've got the crew on deck cleaning the plane, all they're doing is picking up trash. They are not wiping down your tray table, your chair, your headrest, where you're resting your arms. None of that is getting wiped down. Now, that doesn't mean that they don't do it at the end of the night or at the beginning of flights for the day. But what I can tell you is in between flights, because of that quick turnaround, it's not getting cleaned. So I've always been a proponent of carrying Clorox wipes just to keep the germs down. And I guess because I work in IT healthcare and specifically for the lab mostly, as well as outpatient clinics, yeah, I see enough. And so I've always carried wipes. Now that coronavirus and all of that has happened, I can't stress enough that you're probably going to want to have these with you when we are able to travel again, just because you don't know. All right, next up, power banks. So this is one of my favorites. I have several power banks just because I'm completely OCD when it comes to I don't want to run out of juice. And because I like to film with my phone, as well as I use it for work, I use it for this and that, it's a hotspot, it's you name it, it runs out of juice pretty quickly, even though it for the most part holds a good amount of battery. So one of my favorites is from Toomey. And I'll just and I like this because you literally can just and now this is meant for iPhone. I do apologize, Android lovers. I don't know what's a good thing there, but I just love the fact that you can just plug this right into your phone. This side is for obviously charging, and this side you would just press the button. I have nails that I don't usually have. And then it will light up and tell you how much you have. So I have full juice there, and this is enough for a full charge. So I tend to keep this in my pouch at all times. And then I also carry a couple other power banks as well. Just because, hey, you can never get enough power banks. Next up is headphones. So typically I have my Beats just because. And for the longest time I carried the Pros because as of version 3, they had auto noise cancellation built into them. However, it just depends on what bag I'm carrying. Those may not always work. And so when they don't, I carry my Bose noise head cancellations. So I love these. The only thing is obviously they are not wireless, and you obviously need your dongle or what have you to plug into your phone to be able to, or your iPad, depending on which iPad you have. So that's a thing. But these are great. You literally just charge here. And then when you're on the plane, you flip that switch, and I'm telling you, you can't hear kids. You can't hear the pilot. I've literally had the airline lady tap me like, hey, do you want something to drink or whatever, because I zone out. Like, I can't hear anything. So Bose are essential when I don't have my Beats. And then in the event that I have somehow forgotten both pair, because that has happened to me before, then I use my AirPod Pros, because I always keep these in my personal item that I take on a plane, which is obviously my purse and or my book bag. And then the Pros are noise cancellation driven as well. But if you have the regular AirPods, same concept. I have to have a pair of headphones with me at all times. And I always usually have these in my Beats or these in my Bose, but either way, I have 2 pair of headphones. These I use primarily for like conference calls, things of that nature when I'm in the airport and I'm waiting. And then, you know, obviously these are for listening pleasure. All right. The next thing that is a must for me is a blanket. So I literally got this from Express Spa in, I think, DFW, if not LAX. It was one of those two in my travels, and I liked it because it was black, and it actually has Velcro straps that you can use to keep on your luggage. They now also have the blanket in a gray color, which they did not have when I got this. I've had this blanket for a couple of years. I strongly suggest, if you are like me, I get really cold on the plane. I do not know why. It could be winter, spring, summer, fall. I'm cold. And so I like to carry my own blanket, primarily because I realized one day I was the first person in line. I happened to be sitting in first class for this particular flight. I got on the plane and I realized that they were literally like basically restuffing the blankets and folding it and putting it on the seat, and it was previously used. And I was like, ooh, gross. So at that moment I decided, you know what, next time I go through the airport, I'm gonna buy a blanket. So that's how Express Spa got my business. And yeah, I've never used the airline blankets since. I found that Deltas are too thin. It's a pretty red, but it's too thin. And then Americans is nice and thick enough, but just gross. Like it's not washed, it's not brand new. They're just recycling. And just like they recycle headphones, which is another reason why I make sure I always have at least 1, if not 2 pair with me at all times, because gross. And yeah, that's just how I roll. So the next thing that I like to keep with me is a snack. And so the snack that I have with me here is by Sahel. Love these. It's the honey almond glazed mixed. Now, this is not probably the best for you because it says it's 230 calories, but when you're hungry, yeah, something's better than nothing. And I go into hangry mode, and it's just not a good look. All right, next thing that I take with me is a water bottle. So this is also depending on what bag I have. If I'm carrying a huge tote, then I most likely will carry this, and it says Shine Bright. My sorority sister gave this to me, and I just love the top. It looks like a little jewel there. And then if I'm carrying my book bag or I have a smaller tote, then I carry this water bottle. I got this from Amazon, and it clips. So as you can see there's the carabiner. This is a 17 fluid ounce, but I like it. Yeah, unpop the top here. And it turns into this cute little water bottle. So it's nice and neat. And sometimes I carry it anyway, just when I want to like solely drink water. And if I'm going to drink something else, then I'll carry this one. But I love this just because, I mean, it's compact. You literally can just, you know, I don't really recommend putting anything in this other than water just because of it's going to be hard to really kind of clean it, unlike the other water bottle. But I love that it's compact and that it can clip. So usually when I'm carrying my book bag for work or whatever, I just clip this on one of the zippers and keep moving, and it's like perfect. All right, the next thing is a scarf. So you can do scarves a couple different ways. You can get the ones that are like the pashmina, and they kind of wrap around you and they have the strings. Most times I have a coat or my blanket with me. So for me, it's just something around my neck because, again, like I'm somehow always under events. And I love this infinity scarf though for the purposes of the fact that it's security driven. So I don't know if you can see this zipper, but this is like the perfect place to put your wallet. Nothing's worse than after you've gone through TSA and you've got some time to kill and you're like, oh, I want a magazine, or I want, you know, a snack or something to drink. And then you're fumbling through all your stuff just to get your card out. Because if you're like me, you don't really carry cash. So this is like the perfect thing because I can literally put this little wallet right here, zip it up, and you don't even know that I have my wallet right here close to the vest in my possession. I don't have to worry if someone's reached their hands into my stuff and stolen my wallet or my credit card. So it's like right here with me. And this is a really big pocket. Like this pocket is long. I don't know if you can kind of see that. Like that's the card case, and there's like plenty of space in there. So you could put a passport in here. You could put whatever you need, but it's like perfect. And then you just, you know, scrunch it around you and you're good to go. All right, the next thing that I like to keep with me are face wipes. So I literally got these from Sephora because they're like the coconut water wipes. Perfect for just like refreshing your face, especially after a long flight. I don't know what it is. I think it's the dryness of the air, but I just like to like feel like I'm putting a little bit of moisture back in my face. And then I usually will keep a cream as well to go with it, but absolutely have to have these. And these are fairly reasonable. You can find them in the, like when you're in line for Sephora to pay, they're usually in that walk around bin somewhere. So they have other ones as well. I think there's a charcoal, there's also a watermelon one, but I just like the coconut water. It works best for me. All right, the next thing is usually a magazine or a book. I seldom get magazines anymore because they just cost so much, but for that purpose, I always keep my iPad Pro with me because I can read a book on this. I can read a magazine on this if I really wanted to, and just kind of keep things electronic. I'm trying to do better about my waste to the environment. And so by buying paper and all of that, I feel like I'm contributing to that. So if there's something I just really, really, really want to see magazine wise, I usually will download it before I take my flight going or coming. But most times I'm watching movies, I'm reading a book, I'm doing something on my iPad on the flight, especially if I'm not having to work. So like if I'm leaving work and I have a few hours to kill, then I'm usually on my laptop during the flight. But if I'm not and I'm traveling out or it's personal travel, then it's a movie, what have you. And then I have various contraptions to where my husband and I can both tap into this and listen to a movie, or like me and my sister one time took a trip. And so we both were able to enjoy the entertainment, if you will, while we were on our flight together. All right, the last thing that is a must for me is my neck pillow. I love this one from Turtle. So it literally wraps around, if I can get it to come up. As you can see, I like things that Velcro. But the way this works is, so I never took the things off. As you can see here, it just says, you know, where your jaw or shoulder should be positioned, where your neck should be positioned. And so literally, so you can see how this works. This is also another way, if you don't have a scarf on, it kind of keeps your neck warm, and then literally fall asleep. Like, it's great. Perfect for if you're a window person. I am an aisle seat girl, but For the times when I've been fortunate to get in first class and I'm on that single side, it's perfect because I'm right at the window, and then I've already wiped the window down anyway, so I have no worries about germs. And yeah, I'm just smelling the cleanliness of Clorox or Lysol wipes. I got my neck, it's in a good position. I'm not gonna have that crick or that like sore feeling because I nodded and went one way or the other. And so it's perfect. Now I just wanna quickly go over what items I use to hold all of those things. So this is my favorite pouch. As you can see there, it says departure ready. And I can almost get everything in here except for my iPad, my Beats, and the Clorox wipes, just because of the pouch I have them in. So like if I literally were to, just to show you, if I took these out and as is, then they do fit in there just fine. But the case for it does not really, I mean, it fits, but it's cramped, and I don't really like that. So I like to keep those out because those are the first things I'm using when I get on a plane anyway, and so it's like perfect. The other thing that I use sometimes is this pouch by Flight 001. And so this works if you're not in first class and your seat has that little hook for the tray table, because then you can just put that there. And I like this because it has the back piece for jet comfort. This is usually where I would keep an eye mask. And then in the front, it says digital travel ID and Aero stuff. So this is usually where, and I actually think I still have a pack of tissues from an international flight that I took, and they gave these. On this side, I keep a hair tie because, yeah, I'm subject to put my hair back in a ponytail or something. Then you have this space here for travel ID. And this top part for digital is usually where I would put any like extra cords or dongles or my headphones if I needed to for travel. Now, when I bought this was the only color you could get was black. And now Flight 001 has come out with like a ton of colors: blue, purple, green, orange. I feel like I'm missing a color, but you're not stuck with just having to choose black, so you have options. And then if I am wanting to make sure that everything can fit, I have this bag from On The Go 24/7. And I got it in it's like the green color and the clear front. This literally can hold everything except for my neck pillow and my blanket. So I literally can get my iPad in here just to show you. And you honestly could fit probably a 13-inch laptop in there, because this is an 11-inch iPad. And as you can see, there's like, if I move this over, there's plenty of space. So a 13-inch laptop could probably even fit in here if you needed it to. And then I could also put my wipes, and let's say I'm carrying that water bottle. And then if everything else were in this departure ready bag, I could also stick that in here and zip it up. And so then literally, if I have my my huge tote that I typically carry as my personal item on the plane, then all I'd have to do is pull this out and sit it in the back pocket of the seat, and I have everything that I need, and I can see where everything is because it's clear. This is probably the best thing that I've found to use with these OTG 24/7 bags. And I will link it down below. I had the hardest time because they claimed that you could literally pack clothes in them and have them as kind of like packing cubes. I found it works in the summertime. When I'm packing trips for spring and summer, I could use, and this is the number 8 bag, by the way. I don't know if you can kind of see that. I have the number 10s, which are supposed to be good for packing cubes. They work if I can use them for clothes in the spring and summer because they're not so heavy, and usually I'm wearing dresses and skirts and they're kind of light. But in the wintertime, yeah, I don't know how they were packing for ski trips, because I went on a ski trip and it was an epic fail trying to use it. I went just back to what I know. So yeah, that's all my carry-on essentials and how I pack them. Again, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And let me know down below what you might want to see. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway of some of the things that I just have to have with me all the time. And I would love to be able to get an idea of what you guys like and what are your must-haves when you travel on trips. I mean, I know we're not traveling right now due to said situations, but when we get back to traveling, or when you were traveling in the past, think about, what did you have to have? Let me know down below in the comments. I'd love to read it. Until next time, remember, travel, you only live once.